We are still following this breaking news situation of a shooting in downtown Salt Lake City right now.
Yeah, and let's get over to Sandra Yee, who's been live on the scene since it started. Sandra, what's the latest?
Ashley and Keith, we're awaiting another update from Salt Lake City Police, who really aren't confirming anything other than that one person was shot. They're not even confirming that it was an officer who shot that person. Right now, you can see behind me still some police activity, but there are a lot of patrol cars, a lot of officers all around this area in the Rio Grande district. So this doesn't even just show nearly half of what is out here, the police presence out here. There are officers from multiple agencies. And we are still trying to get more information. I did talk to some witnesses earlier today, including a young man who says that it was his friend who was shot by an officer and that he was shot 4 times. Okay, I understand that Salt Lake City Police are ready to give another update. Let's go to Detective Greg Wilking with Salt Lake City Police.
Sorry, GWILKING, Salt Lake City Police, PIO. What's the update? Update is it is an officer-involved shooting. We may have up to 2 officers involved in this, and right now Unified is on scene beginning the investigation here. I don't have any updates on the condition of the individual, and it's still really early in this investigation. Unified has arrived on scene. We have a lot of resources on scene to make sure that they're safe for them to carry out that investigation.
At all?
At this point, I don't have any knowledge as to what's happened with those officers. Per protocol, they've been taken back to the station, and we'll check on their welfare.
You can confirm 2 officers involved fired the shots. Do we know how many shots fired?
2 officers were involved in the altercation. I don't know how many fired shots. Those officers are going to be talked to.
Sorry. We did this already, but do you have a condition?
I don't have an updated condition on the individual.
What's the scene like now? What are your officers?
So our officers have contained that 210 South Rio Grande and secured it and moved people away from the area so that we'll actually be able to conduct the investigation. As you can see by the crowd that's gathered, it's quite volatile still.
The circumstances of how this all happened, any more details?
No, that's still yet to come out.
He was holding a broomstick is what we've been told. Any confirmation on that?
I can't confirm any of that.
You know that he had a broomstick. He ain't had no weapon.
And then are we expecting anything else to come this evening?
We're probably not going to have any more updates this evening, and we will be talking about this. Unified will be conducting the investigation, but we will be giving the updates.
And then we were also told that some people had some cell phone video. Will you guys be releasing that, or is that Unified Police?
We won't be releasing any cell phone video at all. There may be.
Okay, so we just heard from Salt Lake City Police Detective Greg Wilking with a brief update. He can now confirm that 2 officers were involved in some sort of altercation at the Gateway Mall tonight, but he cannot confirm if how many of the 2 actually fired their weapon. Unified Police, per protocol, will be investigating the shooting, but again, police tonight saying that this is still a very volatile scene. They've locked down the area. They've moved people away. Earlier, there were a lot of angry people, a huge crowd gathered, yelling obscenities at police, yelling that they had shot and killed a 16-year-old kid, but police not confirming tonight that someone was actually killed. We don't even know the condition of the person who was shot. A friend of that 17-year-old man told me that they got into some sort of an altercation with a stranger at the Gateway Mall. His friend had a broomstick, and that when officers arrived to intervene, his friend had just started turning around when an officer fired his gun, shooting his friend 4 times. Now, I talked to that man, and here is what he had to say.
He didn't even hit. He wasn't even swinging at anybody. He didn't know the cops were behind him, so he just dropped. Like they ran up so fast. Like we were sitting there, we were trying to stop it. We're like, King, stop, you know. Next thing you know, I turn around, 2 cops on foot run up, already have their gun. They told him to drop it. Boom, boom. Like he barely even like turned around. Like as soon as he turned around, he went boom, boom, and then he just dropped.
Yeah, again, that is 19-year-old Salem Mohammed. He told us it was his 17-year-old friend who was shot by an officer earlier tonight outside the Gateway Mall. And again, a lot of police out here, more than 100 officers on scene from multiple agencies. Again, police not confirming that how many officers were involved in the actual shooting or the condition of this person. They're not confirming his age. His friend told us that he is 17 years old. He also told us that the young man is from Kenya. And again, police will be out here all night long probably because they said this is still very much an active scene, and we don't know if any officers were hurt. We don't know how many other people were taken into custody. There were a lot of people throwing rocks at officers who had their riot shields out. They were just in a line, just making sure that the crowd was controlled. But again, very active scene out here. Police telling people to just stay away from this area. But again, the Jazz game, I think, just got out, so there are still some more crowds on the sidewalk. Ashley, back to you.
Yeah, we can see some of the crowds coming out of the Vivint Arena right now. Again, the 4-block area is blocked off, Sandra, and is likely to stay shut down for long into the evening or early morning hours, correct? Since there's so many officers out there trying to talk to people?
Absolutely, and Detective Wilking said it is still very much an active scene, so there are still a lot of officers here from multiple agencies. I've seen cars from West Valley. Unified Police are still out here. There were fire trucks, ambulances out here when we first got here. So a 4-block area, I think, in the Rio Grande district is closed down, and they will definitely be out here for quite some time.
Okay, Sandra Yee downtown in this on Rio Grande Street area this evening. We'll have the latest from you also on our various platforms, KSL.com, our Twitter and Facebook accounts with the latest information. Sandra, thank you.
All right.